What up, everybody? What's going on? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Bones, what's going on, man? I am so happy that you're here. What's going on, brother? Sneaky's here as well. Sneaky's up bright and early in the morning. He didn't want to miss this stream. Thank you, brother, for being here. So another reminder, this is a new kind of thing that I'm doing. I'm trying to focus on different collectors. Not always the usual people, trying to focus on people who've been in the game for a while, maybe even some people later on who kind of new to the game, but, you know, people who've had a little bit of an experience, you know, collecting for years and years, who might have had their collection shift and change and morph into things that they originally didn't anticipate. And so our guest for today is a guy who's been collecting for a while. If you're an OG collector, you'll remember him from back in the day. He was always on all the live streams with Nate and the gang. So let's bring him in. Mr. Mom Collectibles. Good morning, man. How's it going?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can't hear you.
Really? Turn your sound on. Can you not hear me? Really?
Your audio went. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I can't hear you. Your audio went.
All right,
I can't
hold
hear
on,
you.
hold on a second. People in the chat, can you hear me? Yes or no?
Oh.
Let's see. Give me a second. Who can hear me? Who can hear me? Come on. Vindicator, yes, you can hear me. You can't hear me. No. All right. So what we're going to do is jump out and then jump back in and see if it works.
I put Pinky in the scene.
All right. So hopefully we'll fix that situation. He'll be back in a second. What's going on? Vindicator, thank you, man, for being here. Mike Hunt, what's going on? Nicotronus, good morning. Good morning. So hopefully he'll fix that issue and he'll be back in a second. It's another brutally hot day here in Tokyo. I tried to exercise a little bit today. I walked about 7 kilometers in the heat. When I finished and I got home, I was just totally drenched. It's brutal here. I went to buy the SH Figuarts, that new Scarlet Spider from the Spider-Verse movies, and I went to buy, and you have to use a Japanese card. And so I went to use my debit card, and they don't recommend you use your debit card, but I went to use my debit card, and I went to punch in the numbers, and the last 4 digits on my card were melted because of the heat here. I'm not even lying. I'm not even exaggerating.
I am good.
All right, man. Can you hear me?
I am good. Sorry.
Right.
It was really weird. When you went live, my audio just cut out. It was really strange.
That's weird.
Yeah. I'm over here giving like hand signals, trying to get attention.
Kaiju new helicopter beside you? No, man. That's the I've had this. This is the classified Dragonfly. That's been there for a long time. Yeah, hot, man. Like literally, I went to put in the numbers, and you know, you put in your whole credit card. Well, in this case, my debit card, and the last 4 numbers, man, they were melted. It's insane. People don't realize how crazy humid, hot Tokyo gets. Ian went on a trip. Ian. He went to Vietnam. Maybe he'll join in today. He went to Vietnam. He came back, like the floorboards in his apartment, in his home, were kind of warped. But anyway, enough about that. Let's get right into it with Mr. Mom. So Mr. Mom, I was kind of saying that you and I, we go back some years, conversing and chatting in different 1/6 live streams. Let's get into the first question for you.
Oh man,
look at that! This man, he lets his kids near his toys. That's crazy.
Yeah, my daughter. She's can say hi. It's okay.
Hi.
Hello.
Good morning. Is. Good morning. Yeah, my daughter's gonna be in here, so I apologize right off the bat. So
all
yeah.
right.
What? Spiderman is out there.
Spider-Man. There you go. So
So the first question, man, is when and why did you start collecting figures?
I thought about this question. It honestly goes back. It goes back. When you were younger, you buy stuff and whatnot, and or when you're playing with like toys and things like that. What really started for me when I was in high school? And do you remember McFarlane, the McFarlane Sports Picks, the
Yeah.
McFarlane Sports? That outside. The McFarlane Sports figures. That's really the first time I remember actually collecting stuff. Like, what I mean collecting is like collecting stuff in the sense of like, oh, like I'm gonna be keeping this, and then I want more, and there's different things like that. When you're younger, even like my daughter's age, I mean, you get fascinated with toys, like you get hooked on things, but you don't have an appreciation for stuff. Your parents are buying you toys. I mean, I shouldn't say all kids, but you're playing with this stuff, and then you change up your focus. I don't think it's till I was a little bit older, and like I said, and you start seeing other influences with people around me. And I remember when I was in my teens, my uncles were big collectors in like sports memorabilia, the Yankees, things like that. And then, like I said, McFarlane, he really came out with when he started doing sports figures. I forget what that was, like early 2000s. He started with a line of figures. They're like 6 inches, things. I still have a lot of them actually. And I remember that was like the thing that really clicked. I mean, I collected Pokemon cards before, like all those things. But the McFarlane stuff was really the first because that was the kind of thing where like we go into Toys R Us, what came out, trying to see when they stocked the shelves. Like that whole mentality really did start. And then the idea that he made like chase figures, like he would make a Yankee outfit in like one uniform and stuff like that. And then you go find the chases. You got to dig through the shelf. I would say it was really the McFarlane. That's really what started it. And then it just kind of branched on from there because I can vividly remember those were the ones where I would uh buy some to open to display, but then that's when I first started buying stuff to keep in package. That's when I really remember and like displaying them. So I would say that, and I would probably say that's when, like I said, my early teen, like, 13, 14 years old, if I had to guess, if that was what it was. So that was really where it started. And then it just honestly avalanched from there on out.
So with the McFarlane things, that was the first stuff you really collected, or was the first thing that got you hooked?
That was the first thing I can really remember collecting in the sense of keeping. Prior to that, I played with all, Marvel Legends, all that stuff, 6 inch. Like I did all that stuff as a kid growing up, all the Ghostbusters figures and all that stuff. But there was never any like really retention of collecting that like I'm playing with this stuff and then hey, I'm gonna keep this for just because I want, you lose stuff as you get older. So I would say the McFarlane stuff was really where things clicked, and because I was out probably doing it myself, I wasn't like getting stuff bought for me. I was going out myself hunting and looking for
Yeah.
stuff, and so that's probably where it really started. If I had to remember back when.
Okay. So it started there, and then how did it transition out of that to other things?
It just because when you're in the store, I think it just happened, and that's kind of happened with Marvel Legends and MAFEX and stuff. When you're in the store looking for that, you end up seeing other stuff and just kind of building. I mean, I was always into Legos. I would get Legos, build Lego sets of things I liked and things like that, so I'd have Legos also, and then things would just kind of cascade on. And then as you get older, I think your taste starts to mature a little bit or curate. You start honestly making more money, you start buying more stuff, and so
Mhm.
it's kind of like it just kind of cascades on from there. And then it moved into like really just buying a lot of, I'm really big into like nostalgia, like stuff from my childhood that I like, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future. I would always collect that stuff primarily. 89 Batman, like if there was ever anything out when I was at flea markets, I would always buy stuff and keep stuff, things like that, like little trinkets. It could be anything. 89 Batman, Ghostbusters, Back to the Future. Those pillars, I always say, those are things I always collected no matter what. Like if I was out, I saw like a little DeLorean at a flea market, I'd buy it. If I saw something
Mhm.
Ghostbusters, I'd buy it and just keep it, and I have all that stuff. I haven't displayed any of it yet, but I have that's stuff that I would always keep as I would move on. And then it's more about discovery. Just when you discover new stuff, like you discover
Mhm.
Hot Toys, you discover MAFEX, and that just opens up another avenue of collecting and just gives you more experience, and it just opens up another portal to another whole community of stuff, I should say.
So most of your collecting is focused on nostalgia, like stuff from your youth that
Yeah.
you're really into.
Mhm.
But are you collecting anything these days that's really something that you've only been kind of exposed to maybe in the last 5 or 10 years?
Yeah, 100%. Hot Toys, MAFEX, 100%. During COVID 2020, I was exposed to Hot Toys specifically. Like I said, I always knew of Marvel Legends, always knew of everything like that. I never heard of a 6 scale figure until 2020 when a coworker of mine, I was at work and I had a friend who liked Batman, and he discovered that I was kind of a nerd, comic book nerd, and collector. And he was like, "Yo, you should check out this website called Sideshow." And I'm like, "What's Sideshow?" Sideshow Collectibles. I'm like, "What is that?"
What's
I was like, "What is that?" And I was probably the biggest mistake I ever. What is that? I should
that?
never have even asked that question. And he
So
was like,
shut
"Go."
up right then and there.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that was a financial pitfall the minute he said that. And he told me about Hot Toys, and I was like, What's a Hot Toy?" And I looked at them, and the first thing I was like, "These things are stupid expensive." I'm like, "What is this?" He goes, and I remember him telling me, and it's really true. He goes, "You won't understand until you just buy one. You just won't understand." He goes, and I was like, "Oh, okay." I mean, he's like, "If you like this, that." And I don't know how. It was probably a few weeks later that I ended up making my first Hot Toys purchase, which was the diecast Iron Man Mark 43 from Avengers Age of Ultron specifically. That's my very first one. And so that's a whammy, a diecast Iron Man as your first Hot Toy. And he was right. Like when I got it, this big box came, it was heavy as hell. I'll never forget it. And I opened it up and like I was afraid to touch it. I was like, this thing is heavy. My wife didn't even know what it was I bought, and she's like, she thought that it cost like a hundred
You already
bucks.
married.
Oh yeah, I've been married since 2016, so I was already married. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And so my wife was even like, "What is this?" And like I opened it up, and I'm like, I was
I
like,
don't know.
"Yeah." And she's like, I remember her saying, she's like, "Your nephew would like that." My nephew at the time was like 7 or 8. She's like, "Oh, maybe you should get one for him. He would like." I'm like, "No, no, 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 no." I think it was like $400 or something like that. And so that was a big thing, was the Hot Toys. And then from there, that's when I was like, I get it, like I got it. And then I just started kind of buying from there. Like, so it was Hot Toys for the last few years, as you can see, and then there's more behind me. And then so that was the big thing. And then the same thing happened with MAFEX. Same thing happened with MAFEX, where I was like, oh, there's like high-end versions of 6 inch that are better than
Mm.
Marvel Legends, because I only really knew Marvel Legends at the time. And I'm like, what is MAFEX? I had no idea what this was. And then, I know you and I were talking at that time, and you're just a wealth of knowledge. So I remember asking you a bunch of questions about stuff, and I mean, and then MAFEX, SH Figuarts. I mean, that's the same thing. I had that same passion. I was like, wow, this is crazy. This is just like,
Yeah.
this is awesome.
So, my question was sort of different than what you answered.
Oh,
So
sorry.
let's no. What you said was awesome. But what I was kind of getting at was like when it comes to Hot Toys, when it comes to the MAFEX, you're still buying the nostalgia IP.
Yes, yes,
So is there
yes.
like any new IP that you're into now these days?
It's hard. It's really hard because I guess it's what they're making. So I mean, I'm trying to think if there's anything outside of like
Like, do you
I.
buy Mythic Legions or do you buy anything like that?
Not really. I buy a lot of wrestling figures. That's something
Okay.
that's I buy wrestling. I'm big into like which I wasn't for a while. Like I'm big into like wrestling. So that's like another thing on the side is I do a lot of wrestling figures, which is a totally different IP than the whole like Marvel, DC, and everything like that. So I collect a lot of WWE figures, which I've never done before really. Like I never actively, like when I was a kid, I had some wrestling figures like the Jack Pacific and things like that,
Mhm.
but like never cared nearly anything much. And then I fell out of that, like never had any interest in it, like never even thought about it. And then between me getting Marvel Legends and stuff, I dipped back into buying, like I'm actively buying wrestling figures like with a passion. Like that's something that um is very shocking to me, to be honest. Like I like wrestling. Like it's not like I don't, I do, but I never liked it that much to be like as an adult buying the figures and collecting the figures, and I am doing that as well. So I'm juggling. I mean, I'm not as hardcore about it, like getting every single figure, but I would say that's something that's very different than the whole like Hot Toys, MAFEX. DC. That's a very different path for me lately.
So with wrestling, there's a lot of people in the Facebook group that we have that are into wrestling. I'm not into the wrestling figures. I was really into wrestling as a teenager,
Yeah.
as a young kid. When you're buying your wrestling figures, because this is true of people in different scales.
Yeah.
Number one, are you buying one iteration of the character, or are you buying multiple to kind of like, they have different looks and they have different, whatever. And then number two, are you focusing more on like figures from your youth when you were more into wrestling, or is it like a mix of kind of new and old?
To answer the second question, it's a mix of new and old. It's a mix of new and old for sure. Like I definitely get the legends like Stone Cold, Bret Hart, Ric Flair, the ones that Hulk Hogan. So there's definitely a mix. When it comes to the actual, to answer the first part, it depends on what figure. Like when you say like, am I buying multiple iterations? I'll only buy multiple iterations of characters that I absolutely love. Like for example, Bret Hart. I love Bret Hart. I will get every single Bret Hart figure that's out there. They don't make a lot of them now, but I'll make every one. I'll get every one of them.
Okay.
I don't know if you know Roman Reigns. He's a
Yep.
more. I get every Roman Reigns figure. I'll get every one of them. So, but it's very selective with who I'll be getting. But when it comes to wrestling figures, because that is another pitfall, I only really stay away from, because there's different series. There's like basics that are like $12, $13. And then there's like ultimates, which are like more like the deluxe version where the sculpts are better, the quality's better, the accessories are more. I usually lean towards getting like, if I'm going to get one version of a character, I'll get like the ultimate best version because of like, the sculpt quality, the accessories, the look. I'll get like a one and done of that situation. So it's partly also because of like the quality of the figures that they're making, if that makes sense. Like Roman Reigns, Bret Hart, I'll get every version. Doesn't matter if it's basic figure up to an ultimate. But other characters, I'll only get like the best version of that and then call it a day and walk away from it.
Okay. Now we'll move on to our next question. People who don't know you don't really know the levels of your fandom when it comes to one particular character.
Which is,
so when did you realize you were such a massive Spider-Man fan?
when I was very, 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 very young. I really can't pinpoint a certain time. I would probably say it really took off in the 90s when we had the animated series cartoon, the Spider-Man. I had I had all of the figures that were made, everything. I actually went back as an adult and rebought all of those figures, like those original like 5-inch. And I know Hasbro's like redoing a lot of them, like they're updating them. And it's pretty cool because I have all the originals in my son's room. So like they're on his shelf. The originals that I had as a kid, they're in his room on his shelf. And then I have like all of the reissues. I'm looking at a lot of them above me. And so I would probably say it's young. And Spider-Man's always been that character that I just always loved. I always loved drawing him. I just loved everything about the character as it progressed on. It just it's a character that it's just, a lot of people can relate and things of that nature. And so, I mean, frankly, it's I got figures sitting right here. Peter Parker, there. So I have them all here. I mean, my fandom is probably so high that I named my son Peter Parker. So my fandom is that high. So
and your daughter. And your
and,
daughter.
and my daughter. So I mean, for those who don't know, we had my daughter first. She's 5 years old. My son just turned 1. And my daughter's name is Gwen Stacy Carroll, for those who don't know. And my son's name is Peter Parker Carroll. So,
and how did you convince your wife to let you do this?
So when we were talking about kids' names, I had the idea of Peter, but my wife loves Peter Pan. So it serves a dual purpose, if that makes sense. So it kind of serves a dual. However, when we were pregnant and it was a daughter we were having, we were kind of stumped on what to do for girls' names. And we were just throwing around all these names and stuff. And Gwen Stacy came up, and I said to her, "What about Gwen?" And she says, "I like Gwen." And then she always asked me, like, "Where'd you get the name from?" And I was like, "Well, it's Spider-Man's." I said it's Spider-Man's first girlfriend. People think it's Mary Jane, but actually, it was Gwen Stacy.
Did you tell her what happened to the character?
Well, yeah, well, it's yeah. And but my wife really liked the name Gwen Stacy. She really liked Gwen Stacy, and so we made Stacy her middle name, so it's Gwen. It's Gwen Carroll, but it's Gwen Stacy Carroll. So, and then when we were having my son, we both looked at each other and we're like, "Are we going to do it?" And she goes, "I think we have to do it." And she, because we always talked about Peter, like we always said, if we had a boy, it was going to be Peter. Like it was always going to be Peter. But when push came to shove, and it was 5 years later, we kind of looked at each other and we're like, "Are we? Is this going to happen?" And she goes, and she looked at me. She goes, "How do we not do it?" And I was like, "Okay." And I said Peter, but I said, "Do you want the real middle name to be Parker?" And she goes, "We're doing it." I was like, "Okay, we're doing it." So that's.
So what happens if you have a third kid?
No.
I don't know, Eddie Brock, maybe? I don't know. I haven't figured that one out yet. All right, we're take this one step at a time.
One kid at a time.
One kid at a time. Two's enough. Two's enough.
I have a friend here. Who he's married to a Japanese woman. So he's from America. He was in the military. That's how he came, met a woman, and they got married, and he left the military, and now he lives here. And they just had a girl, and he was very adamant. He said, "You can give her given name, but he wants to give her middle name. I'll give you $100 if you can tell me what her middle name was."
Is this Spider-Man related?
No.
Oh, what would it be?
All right. Danger.
Are you serious? Danger. Wow.
Danger is her middle name.
Oh my god. I don't know.
I was like, how did I miss that one? I would have absolutely killed to have one of my kids' middle name Danger.
I mean, the conversation did come up where people were like, I think my in-laws were like, well, kids make fun of their names and stuff, and kids, and I was like, I mean, back when I was younger, kids would do that. I was like, kids, I mean, it's his middle name. I mean, if anything, it's Peter. I said I don't think kids are really caring that much about that anymore. I mean, before, I know one name that I wanted for my daughter before Gwen was Layla, because I love the Eric Clapton song Layla. I love that name, that name. And my wife didn't want me to name her Layla because people would they'll sing the song and all, the correlation. So I that was my dog now is named Layla, so that's the constellation. So I got to name someone Layla. So it was my dog, not my daughter. But yeah, so we have Gwen and Peter, which is they were, when he was born, he was the hit in the hospital room. All the nurses and everything, so they loved it. They thought it was brilliant.
Yeah. All right, sticking with the Spider-Man motif. Another question regarding Spider-Man: do you try to buy everything that comes out when it comes to Spider-Man figures?
I do. I don't know if you can see. I have a spider, a hot. I'll zoom in on my camera. I'll flip it, but
I'll expand it. Yeah.
Yeah, there we have a Spider-Verse shelf here of almost all the Spider-Man figures. Not all of them. I don't have all of them. And then when it comes to MAFEX, I do have.
We'll take a tour of your thing in a bit. Yeah.
But I do try for the most part. I will admit I'm more of a classical in the sense where I'm kind of opening myself up to the Spider-Verse, and not literally the movie, but like different versions, like 2099 and things like that. I more or less used to keep things very classic, just like red and blue. It's what it was. Obviously, the movies, Toby, Andrew, that kind of stuff. But I'm definitely opening myself up more now, especially with the PS4 games that were out, getting all those variant suits and things, like getting Miles, things of that nature. So I'm more open now to getting more versions of Spider-Man. I used to be more like just one called a day,
one character,
like very classic look. Yeah.
All right. So, what is the one Spider-Man figure you want that you don't have? It has to have been made. It's not like a wish list. This is a figure that's been released. You don't have it. You want it.
Any scale?
Any scale.
I'm trying to think of. I'm thinking. Trying to think what I don't have on pre-order. You know what I really want? I will actually, you know what? There is probably one that I want that is newer that maybe, I don't know, you might be surprised about. I got that SH Figuarts, the Peter B. Parker and the May. I know I talked to you about that one, but I know that because I don't have the brand, I think, and I heard the company's really good. Who's another company that made? I can't.
Sentinel.
Sentinel. The Sentinel Peter B. Parker.
Ah,
Eh, yeah, I heard that's like a I heard that's like it's damn near like a perfect figure.
It's awesome.
And I know they did a reissue of it,
They
but
do like a reissue every year.
the reissue doesn't have the gargoyle base that.
No, it does.
Oh, it
It does.
does.
There's two versions. There's the
I
deluxe version and the regular version.
didn't know that. See, didn't know that. See, I learn from you all the time. But yeah, that's one that I would probably want to add to the 1/12 collection is that one because I heard Sentinel.
Yeah,
just
that's a great one, man. You should definitely add that.
Yeah, I don't have anything Sentinel, and
Okay.
that one the SH Figuarts one is very impressive. I love that look, and I also have the MAFEX version too, and so the Sentinel one is one that has always been on my radar.
Okay. So next question: what are your top 3 lines in terms of volume? Volume. Lines meaning, for example, like Hot Toys, not just Hot Toys, but like a certain IP in Hot Toys.
I'd probably say Marvel Hot Toys.
Okay.
Used to be Star Wars, but it's Marvel Hot Toys between Spider-Man, Iron Man, Avengers. I'd probably say that. I mean, Marvel Legends is like Marvel Legends is very big. Like Marvel Legends themselves. Like I have Fantastic Four. I have all of them. I had that, and then I would probably say the third. So what I say? I said Marvel Hot Toys, Marvel Legends, and then it'd probably be MAFEX.
Yeah.
But in terms of MAFEX, I'm all over the place. Like I think it's like evenly distributed because I have one-offs. Like I have Homelander, I have, Daredevil, I have like different, it's like spread out a little bit. So I'd say those are the 3 big ones that I have a lot of.
Okay.
If I had to guess, yeah.
Okay. What are your favorite 3 figures from the past month or 2?
Any scale?
Any scale.
I'm looking, honestly. I have to look and see. I love the. I don't have it on my desk here. I'd say the first one would be the Peter B. Parker SH Figuarts
Okay.
with the May. That one was just fun. That one was just fun to pose.
Mhm.
Absolutely fun to pose. Believe it or not, I would also say something that I got or just in general.
In general, but something that you've gotten in the month or 2. Last month or 2.
I would
Just like new
probably.
stuff. New stuff.
Yeah. I would probably say. All right, so I said that one, and then I'm trying to look. I got so much stuff. You know, it's another fun. I'm gonna do a 4 for 1. So I gave you the SH Figuarts, Peter B. Parker. You know, what's
And
another
May.
one I love. I'm putting 4 into 1. I'm
All right.
cheating. The Marvel Legends Fantastic Four.
Okay.
The set because
The
I just
whole
got
set.
I just got the thing, which was hard to get. I got all 3 of them, and then I got the Silver Surfer, and then I got the thing. Those figures are just fun to play. They're just fun. I mean, to pose them up, to have them together as a team, and I that's a set that I didn't get until after I saw the movie because I was optimistic about the movie. I was very, like I didn't know how it was going to play out, and so after I saw the movie, I doubled back and got all those figures. And those are just fun to honestly sit there and just mess around with and just kind of pose up and have them as a group and stuff. So I'd say the Marvel Legends Fantastic Four. And then I'm going to probably say I want to throw a Hot Toy in there, but I haven't gotten.
No new Spider-Man figures?
Not recently, no. I'm going to tell you right now,
Not?
it's going to be the one that's coming today. It's going to be the In Our Joker.
Yeah.
That's probably coming. That's going to be the one for those who don't know. Yeah, I got it In Our Joker, the jail cell version. So it's going to be that one. I'm dying for that one. So that's going to be an exciting one. So when that gets delivered, it'll probably be after the stream gets delivered. I'm probably going to be sitting there playing with that and futzing it. So I'm going to say the In Our the Joker, the jail cell version.
Okay. All right. If you could only collect one scale, you had to give it all up and only focus on one scale, which would it be and why?
It'd be 6 scale. It'd be hard. It would be hard. I think 6 scale. It's just something about the presence of them. the dynamic, just the look of them. Like, it's just the Marvel Legends and the MAFEX. And I don't mean this insulting to anybody. It's just because I started collecting 1/6 before 1/12. And, honestly, if it was the other way around, I probably would have said my answer would have been opposite. But, once 1/12, I find to be more just playful and just fun, which is part of the reason why I did it, where I got them, because, to pose them up. And honestly, it's kind of stress free to sit there and just have a figure, pose up a Spider-Man figure. And it's like playing with a Rubik's Cube. You kind of forget about
Yeah.
stuff when you're trying to pose
Yeah.
a Spider-Man figure. You just kind of zoned in. And that's kind of how I felt 1/12. It just was fun. But 1/6 is where I kind of started with that stuff. And I just love the presence. I love the look of them. They're just characters that I have just a strong connection with. And that's either Hot Toys or in art, honestly. So I'd have to say 1/6.
Okay, cool. That leads us to the next question. What is your most prized figure or toy collectible?
It's either going to be, um, it's a real toss up. Number one would probably have to be the Blitzway Ghostbusters.
The
So
set.
I have the original 1.04 set, because those on the shelf they're just, even if you're not a Ghostbusters fan, they're just breathtaking to look at even still. If it's not that one, believe it or not, and I look at this as a figure that I keep drawing my eye back to, and I'll definitely pull it up on screen because they don't make it. It's an in art custom black suit Superman that I have. So I have two in art Supermans I bought. I have the blue one, and then I sent one out to get custom body modified and painted black. And believe it or not, it's a figure that when I walk in my room, it still catches my, like, it's so incredibly impressive that it catches my eye. It just,
Wow,
no matter what.
nice. When did you get that done?
I got it done a few months ago. Like, I'd probably say 4 to 5 months ago. I had it sent out. And like I said, the body was modified on it. I'll show you in a little bit what it looks like, because it's very impressive. Like, it sucks because it's like, this is what InArt should have given us. But the body was modified, the cape was modified, the paint, the suit. It's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
Looking forward to that. How do you feel collecting has changed since you started collecting?
I think the dynamic of it has changed a lot in the sense of two things. One, financially, it's impacted a lot of collectors. And I feel like a lot of people are focusing and being more selective, which isn't a bad thing. And I mean that in two ways. One, they're either being selective within their own line, where if they're only 1/6 or 1/12, they're focusing more on select pieces. Or, maybe they're just kind of slowing down and maybe switching up. Like, I've been on Instagram and I'm seeing more 1/6 scale collectors dabbling in 1/12, or I've seen some 1/12 dabbling in 1/6. It's very difficult to juggle both. Like, it's nearly impossible to get everything in both scales. It's like it's almost not possible unless you're
Yeah.
unlimited funds. So you have to make sacrifices realistically. But I do think that there's been a pretty big shift, in, I think, the volume and what collectors are buying. And that also could be competition of different companies. We didn't have InArt a few years ago, and so InArt's putting out more expensive products. So maybe people are passing on some Hot Toys to save up for that piece, or prices are raising from MAFEX and things. So it's a number of things, but I definitely think collectors are switching focuses, whether it's just dialing down or just switching in terms of that, or
Okay.
just experimenting with collecting. That's what, at least what I see.
Okay. And last question from me. What are your top 5 most wanted figures, vehicles, or lines?
Number one is going to have to be the Blitzway Ecto 1.
Okay.
Number one. Number two, some of them are figures that are actually out, but believe it or not, there's a couple figures that I've always wanted that have never been made before. So, Blitzway Ecto 1 is a vehicle. I always wanted a 6 scale figure. And I'm crazy for saying this, but if you ever saw the movie with Billy Zane, The Phantom, I always wanted a 6 scale figure of Phantom from that movie.
I have an Australian buddy here who is a massive Phantom fan, and he's got like all the old
Yeah,
comics and memorabilia from it. It's crazy.
I always wanted that's a 90s cheesy movie. That's a nostalgia piece for me. I don't know, it's silly, but I always wanted a 6 scale figure of that. I do want. I wish that this probably is going to be enough to cover, but I wish that 6 scale companies. I say 6 scale because it's made in 12 scale for the most part. I wish 6 scale companies would make more musicians in general, like musical figures.
Yep.
I know we have the Michael Jackson, but I love like John Cash, Bruce Springsteen, rock 80s. So I know Blitzwave does some, Jimi Hendrix. We had a few here and there, but there isn't a stability in that. Like nobody has really taken up the mantle of doing an actual line of 6 scale musical figures. And then probably the other one is wrestling figures. That's a big one, which I don't really see happening because of licensing. But I would love to see 6 scale Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock. I mean, I would love to see 6 scale wrestling figures. That's a money pit that I think so many people would get into, because it just taps into so many factors for so many collectors. But I would probably have to say like wrestling figures. I've seen customs done before, but for a company to do it, I mean, that would be like on another level for me. If a company like Hot Toys or somebody like that was like, yeah, we're coming out with we partner with WWE, we're going to do a WWE line. That would be insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
I missed out on that. I forget the company. I don't know if it was Storm, but they did like the Hulk Hogan, the different Hogan from a couple of years back.
Yep.
Yeah, I passed on those. I wasn't really feeling them, but I wish I got them.
I think they did a yellow version and then they did like an NWO version, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I remember. I've seen them on eBay. They go between like $300 to $500, and the quality is like for an old. I think they're older, but like I feel like the quality is kind of like good for the time, but not for the price of what people are charging for it. Like it's just
agreed.
But
see, even the head, like it wasn't there. That for me was like that was it. It's like Enterbay. Enterbay makes some great like NBA things.
Yes,
but the sculpts are always kind of off to me.
I always wanted to Enterbay Michael Jackson. I mean Michael Jordan, but it was just
Yeah. All right, let's start saying hi to people in the chat. Ian has resurrected himself. So what's going on? We have a question from you, for you from Al. Good to see you on. Are those Brodar cases? I guess that's the pronunciation.
Yes, that's the name of it. Yep,
that's the name. Okay. All right. So yeah, we were talking about those earlier.
Yeah, I can give a little bit of those later.
Ghostbusters and '89 Batman were two of my biggies growing up. You guys are too young. So, well, Al is joining us right here, making his triumphant appearance. What up, Al?
Hey.
So we just pulled up your question right there, or your observation, the sneaker boxes. I'm sure he'll get into that as he does a little bit of a tour. We're just going to go through the comments, and then Mr. Mom is going to show us a little bit of what he's got on display in the cases.
Yeah.
So if you guys have any questions for him from what he's just talked about, just write it in the chat, and we'll have him answer it. Vicious Soldier, what's going on? The Collector is awake. What's going on, dude? All right, man. Okay. As a kid, I told my school friends that I was related to Bret Hart, as we have the same surname, and you got beat up every day for it. Good day from the United Arab Emirates. What's going on, man? What time is it there? Roman Reigns. Like I said, if you have a question for Mr. Mom, please write it in the chat. I'm still trying to deal with my COVID. I've seen many large marges when I go hang at the all-you-can-eat buffet at the truck stop. Whatever this guy is talking about. Let him in. I don't know.
I'm gonna ban him.
I tried naming my daughter Leia, but my wife told me to go fuck myself. Yeah, so listen. My family name is Mullen. And I told my wife, I said, let's name our son Water. And she didn't get it. I'm like, Watermelon. She's like, oh, no. So, just trying to have a laugh, trying to have a good time. Bang right on the dot, Ben, is the only correct answer. Listen to the man. Pick a random middle name. I thought it would have to be a family name. Wow, my parents are boring and gave you nothing. You should sue them, man. Bring them to court. Do what you can do. As Robert said on a previous stream, there are a lot of weird foreign Jews living in Japan, including ones that call their kids Danger. Listen, man, that is the best middle name. You know, that's too dangerous. Danger is my middle name is the correct response, right? So Ian loves that Peter B. He's got it. He thinks it's the figure of the year. He's been raving about it since he got it. That Figuarts one.
Oh, yeah, the new one.
You don't do statues at all, do you, Mr. Mom?
I don't have the space for it, but yeah, no, statues. The only other problem with statues is that I mean, not that I pose up a lot of figures. I like the freedom of being able to repost stuff. Statues is a really it's a big financial commitment, and honestly, the only statue that I would have ever gotten is something like a Keaton Batman, where he's just kind of standing museum pose. Can't go wrong with that kind of thing. But like someone like Spiderman, I'd have to get like 1,000 statues because there's nothing that would, I can't do it.
Yeah. So let's just go back. I don't know who this is for. Is this for the collector or is this for Mr. Mom? Mr. Mom's real name is Ryan. I don't know.
Yes,
so
you can call me Ryan, by the way. You can keep.
Well, for the group.
Yeah, what?
Do you have any 3-0s? Do you collect any of those?
I don't have any 3-0s. No, I don't.
No. Okay. You're not into G.I. Joe at all?
No, it never was. It was just one of those things that just never took on. Not that I don't respect it, of course. I mean, G.I. Joe's, it's one of those things.
So for music, the Gallagher brothers from Oasis. Did you end up getting the Al? What's his name?
Kurt Cobain.
Did you ever get the Kurt Cobain?
A regrettable purchase that I never made. I wish I made it. And it was one of those, what the thing is, if anyone out there that does collect 6 scale, it's pretty much, Blitzway is one of those companies where you should almost get anything they make. Just get it. Just honestly get it. They go up in value. If you don't like it, you could sell it, but they don't make figures often. And when they do, they're pretty much bangers almost every time. And Kurt Cobain is one of those that, I could have got him and never did.
You know what?
We have Kaiju Diddy here. Kaiju
Diddy. Oh, what the hell?
I remember the way we just stiff toys.
Remember
K Diddy.
What up, 12-inch? What's going on, man?
Oh, 12-inch.
Just to hit the million figure mark. It's been a while, huh? You have the Blitzway Cobain. Do you want to sell one? Do you have one? Do you have two? Because Al is in need of one.
I actually just need the one that you have because I know you took that one from me.
Yeah. I noticed Mr. Mom has a lot of Spider-Man figures. Does he also have the villains either for the 6-inch or anything else, especially?
Oh, yeah, they're another case.
You got them all? Okay. Yeah, the logo is awesome, right? It's pretty great. That where did it go? That's awesome.
Oh, wow. I just noticed it.
Yeah. Oh, I looked at the thing. I'm like, wait, did I comment on anything? But no.
That's what I thought that was you, actually.
Yeah. All right, man. So can you give us a give us a tour?
Yeah, hang on a second. Let me work I'm on my phone because I know it's easier to flip. Let me see. We'll see what's you can see what's going on?
Yep.
All right.
There
So we'll just go quickly, case by case, but these are so that's that's the InArt Joker 4-pack, as you can see, which I absolutely love this set. I think it's just one of those, it just looks amazing. And then we got, this is more like InArt and everything. This is Harry Potter, so we have the 2 figures there. I do have Hermione. She should be coming in a few weeks. And then we have Gandalf, which that was my very first InArt. And then there's our Ghostbusters. So this is the 1.0 version and Slimer. And then this is kind of like my mishposh 80s shelf at the moment. This got, Back to the Future. You got RoboCop. So it's kind of a little, all these shelves are pretty much going to be reworked eventually when I have more stuff coming in. And then this is kind of like DC, and I want to focus in on, I know I told you about this. So we got, open this up. Oh, yeah, there's my DeLorean up top. But then we have, you know, some DC figures. And then this is the one I told you about. This is the in art custom, the black
That's
suit
nice.
Superman.
Yeah.
So in the
Nice.
back, yeah, so there's the original. And then this is, like I said, a custom that was done. You know, the body was modified, so he's bulked up where he should be, the shoulders, and then I put the angry sculpt on him, has a drape cape, and then, you know, like obviously the suit's black. So I mean, that's just a figure that when I told you about, I look back on it so many times that I absolutely love this one. It just is really, I don't get things customized, by the way. I'm not that person that sends stuff out to get customized. But when I saw the guy that was doing this, I had to do it, and so that one is definitely one of my favorites.
So we
And
have a
then,
request here. We have a
yeah,
request here for you to try to show the things a little bit slower.
oh yeah, sorry.
And he said your camera is shaking, so if you can maybe try
How's
to
that?
maybe focus with 2 hands. Thank you, man.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's great.
Awesome.
So there's that, and then obviously you have, you know, other DC characters and things like that. And then as we go down,
Now
I have
that Joker is the Inot, or that's the Hot Toys?
no. This is the Hot Toys Artisan. So this is
Okay.
my first ever. That's my first ever Heath Ledger Joker. So,
Okay.
and then Bane behind him, and then you have obviously my little shrine to the Batman. So we have the in art Bruce Wayne in the center, and then you have the Hot Toys Batman, the cycle, and everything like that. So that's my shrine to the 2022 Batman, as you can see.
Which figure is that? Is that the Topo?
So that's the Topo Drifter. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's that. And then the cycle in the back. And then below, we have kind of a little mixed shelf right now. We have a little DC, Wonder Woman, Joker, Harley Quinn, Peacemaker. So it's kind of a little mix. That Golden Arbor Wonder Woman is just, I love that figure so much. It just has a
Yeah.
lot of self presence, as you can see, opened up. So, yep. And then as we move over, I have that's the Hot Toys 89 Batmobile. I do have the Jazz Inc. one, but that one is just so big, I need to build a shelf for it. So that one's actually upstairs currently in my den, the Jazz Inc. It's massive. And so this is my 89 or Keaton Batman shelf. As you can see, there's various versions of Keaton, Joker, the original Returns 2-pack, the modern suit, the 89, and then over here we have the Joker, and then that's the Mars Toys Jack Nicholson Joker as well, which I
So
think pairs pretty well.
the Joker on the left is the Hot Toys, and the one on the right is the Mars Toys.
Correct, yes. Which I think that Mars Toys sculpt is pretty good.
Yeah,
they make good stuff. Yeah, I like Mars.
Yep. And then down here is my Spider-Verse. So you can see a multitude of Spider-Man figures. Once again, they're just all in museum poses. I got different risers and things like that I'll be putting together. So all of them.
No Toby, no Andrew?
Yeah, Toby's right there.
I mean, like unmasked.
Oh, no, I don't like the masks. As a matter of fact, with Andrew, I'm probably going to put the mask back on just because I don't like the sculpt, because they reused the sculpt from the original. And I do have the new one on order from the first Amazing Spider-Man, so I'll have that displayed with the the mask, the sculpt. And then down below, little mishmash right now, just figuring stuff out. We got a little mix. A rarity, Davy Jones, which I don't think you see a lot in the collection. That is the original Hot Toys Davy Jones.
Nice.
So, and then I have 40th anniversary Vader, some Star Wars. This shelf I just put stuff in there just to, because I'm also testing out the height of the shelves, because the shelves are different heights. So I'm kind of testing out what figures can go where. And then we have the artisan Jack Sparrow, which is nice as well there too.
Nice.
This
And
is
I just
the
want to
new one.
yeah, that's the
new artisan. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I just want to make a note of anyone out there that does collect 6 scale. You may not have seen it, but like this piece here, this Vader, open this up. So this Darth Vader, this is the 40th anniversary Hot Toys Darth Vader, but there's something unique about this, that it's actually a full leather suit. It's all leather. This is not the original. And if anybody is aware, there's a company called Kelly Studios who does a lot of soft goods for Hot Toys and 6 scale. And they actually made a full leather Darth Vader suit with a custom drape cape that I got that I converted on this figure. So this figure is completely in leather. So no cracking, no nothing like that.
How hard was that? How hard was that for you to switch it up?
Very easy. A very, very, very easy process. But I've always wanted a Vader that was full leather.
Yeah.
And so there it is. That's my dream Darth Vader.
Excellent.
So, and then as we move along, there is some messiness. So I do apologize because, like I said, I collect a whole bunch of stuff. These are, well, I'm a sneakerhead also. So all my sneakers. So
There we go.
Do you wear those or no?
oh yeah, I wear every single one of them. I have sneakers upon sneakers. Like I probably have like over 40 pairs right now. So there's sneakers all over the place.
Okay.
And then this case here, Iron Man. So this is an Iron Man shelf that I put together. So there's all my Iron Mans. I have a lot more. So underneath, it's the gantry, the Mark 6. So I kind of want to tell a story with Iron Man. So you have Iron Man, the original 1.
Yep.
And then it goes to, the 2, him doing the test. Then you have the 2, you have the Mark 3, and then my favorite armor of all time, which is the Iron Man Mark 3. And then below that, we have the 6, the 5, the 7. I'm only missing the Mark 4 for the original 7.
Wow.
And then
are these all die cast ones?
yes, yeah.
Okay.
And then these are just random Avengers shelf with some Avengers. So, and then it's hard to see because the case isn't fully built because the lights aren't on, but I know I was asked about Spider-Man villains, and so but that last case isn't built yet. And then obviously I'm working on my 12th scale. So these are shelving. I didn't finish putting all these shelves up, but this is like my rogues gallery of Spider-Man from the animated. And then I'm working on my fire escape with all my stuff. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, to say the least.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff. And there's a lot of stuff behind me that I won't show because the other thing I never talked to you about is I also got into 12th scale like dioramas. So I have a lot of
I have that Dio from Diorama Boy, right?
That one, yep.
I just got that one in a week ago.
Yeah, I have 2 of his. I think his are just unbelievable.
Right, yeah, I love that Subway one, especially with the Nike poster. That's
yeah.
Does that break down?
What's that? Yeah, this breaks down.
Does that break down?
Yeah, it's all foam board and stuff. So, but eventually, what I want to do is I'm going to move the vehicles and then have a diorama on top of every shelf. So I'll have dioramas to display my 12th scale stuff. And so, that's a lot of stuff there. So
Trell B, he was asking about the fire escapes. We were talking about that earlier. Those are available on Amazon.
Yeah, I think they were like $45 if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, something like that.
There's 2 different versions. There's a corner one that goes in the corner, but then there's also one that if you don't have a corner wall and you just want it flat on the wall, you can do that as well.
Yeah.
So
awesome, man. Thanks for showing us all that. And while you were showing, we got this riffraff who joined the party. What's going on, dude?
Not much. It's so funny when he brings up his cases because the first thing I looked at this morning was on Amazon and I saw like a good toy deal. But I think, what was it? The case is called Brotar.
Brotar.
Those are the ones I got recently, Brian.
Yeah, and I thought it was the one. I was like, damn, they're not a bad price. So, and they have installed LEDs in them, right? With the little bits on the side. So I was like, damn it, now I need to buy these. And then he shows them, and I can tell because I've been watching Mr. Mom forever, and his evolution as a collector is insane. Because I didn't even know he had these cases, or I didn't make the connection. But he's changed.
Well, the thing about them is that I wait till they go on sale. So they're $209 on Amazon before shipping. So they're $209 something. But like once a week or once every 2 weeks, they'll put them on sale for $170. And that's when I swoop in, I buy them. So I buy them every time at $170. And wherever they're from in New Jersey, because I'm from Jersey, they ship next day. they're literally next day shipping. So like wherever they're from in Edison, I'm sorry, Edison, like I'm talking like you guys know where I am, but like the UPS depot, it's next day. It's unbelievable. So I'll order them, and even though Amazon says like 5 day shipping, I always get them next day because it's just wherever they're located. So,
and they had a lot of options. I'll have to get you to send me a link, but they have them on sale right now, though. I think so.
Yeah. I mean, are they perfect? No, but they're really great because I had Maji cases on order. Yeah, I did have Maji cases on order. I just want to be clear with people. Like I was a very much Maji case. Wasn't a fan of them, and then I'm very big about, and those who out there know me, I don't want to say that I'm controversial, but I'm very sharp with my opinions, and I don't sugarcoat stuff. And so if you like me, you like me. If you don't, I'm sorry, I can't help it. But like Maji case, over time, my opinions did change where I actually developed a very good relationship with Brian behind the scenes. Like nobody, so I made videos criticizing Maji case, which I thought was fair. And, I had a conversation with Brian and stuff. And then I ended up actually placing a very large order with Maji case. I did. And the problem with that was, I'll admit, I think I had the wait time was like I waited like a year and a half. I had them paid off, and then financial hardships and things happened. I ended up canceling the order, and Brian was. I can't rave how fantastic he was in helping me. Like he really helped me a lot in making sure everything was, the process was smooth. And then looking for other display options. I've done the build your own kind of thing. I didn't want that, and I stumbled upon these, and I bought one. And for the most part, I mean, they're not perfect, but they're definitely one of the better cases for my situation. I'll say that is really, really good to use.
Now, putting them together, was it user friendly?
The first time I followed the instruction, I have 6 of them so far. So by the second one, I'm putting them together without instructions. I just know what to do. But they're very simple. It's like putting together IKEA stuff, but it's all built in. Touch sensitive. You turn them on and off. The lights are pre-built in, glass panels, things like that. So, I mean, for what I need, it's very, for my space, it's very nice.
And for the price too, they're awesome.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
But even cheaper than Amazon, Temu. You can get them for about like $140, $150, and it comes from the same warehouse.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, I was scared about ordering Temu. Oh, I really appreciate that.
No, I'll send you guys a link because they actually have an official Temu store.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then sometimes they do crazy like you get points back or whatever, so you can get like another 50 off. So it's pretty cool. They're all local too. It might not be next day, but it's still within like 3-4 days.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Oh yeah, I really appreciate that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
How many more do you need?
I'm big about future proofing myself. So I look at like my pre-orders, what I have on order, things like that. And I just because I never want to be without like, oh crap. Like I would rather have extra space that's empty and then just fill them in as I go. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'd probably get like another 3 or 4 more, honestly, over time. And like the last 2 would probably be literally empty, but I would rather have that space just open as things come in, move stuff around. I'm always rearranging my figures. That's one thing about me.
I have a question. Like my shelves, I get multiple glass shelving that I can adjust.
Yeah.
But for the most part, right now I only have my 1/6 stuff in there. Is that the same, or are those built that way?
One only criticism that I do have is that the shelves are fixed, so you are limited. So I mean, I'm pointing here, but the top 2 shelves are wider than the bottom 2. So the top 2, that's why if you notice the theme of all my figures, the top 2 have like the bigger items, things like the gantry, taller figures, things like that. Things that are going to be like in a museum pose go on the lower because of the space. I do have risers, like little glass risers for some of the things, but that does lend to a complication of having to adapt of how to display figures because you don't have the flexibility. Like for example, I have the huge Venom, the video game Venom that's like a quarter scale. Like he can't go in here. Like I have to put him someplace else. Thanos can't go in here. So there is limitations to some things, which it is what it is.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that the top shelves were a little bit taller because
they are.
Yeah. I have Bane, the new Bane 2.0, and Black Adam, and I was like, I can't get these dios on the bottom shelves.
Yep.
And I was like, hey, how'd you get those in there?
Well, and that's the thing is like my '89 Batman, I have the bell tower display, but I can't put the gargoyle because it's just too big. So I had to sacrifice some stuff. And so like the Iron Man gantry, I had to remove one of the pieces to get it to fit in. But that's part of the reason. So my top two shelves are like my money making shelves. Like the best stuff, the biggest stuff will be on the top two, and then the stuff that's kind of like meh, kind of goes on the bottom.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Now your daughter likes going in the room and checking stuff out.
Yeah, she's in here all the time.
Do you let her play with your 112 stuff?
Oh yeah. She loves it. The thing is, she probably loves it most is she loves my my 1/6 accessories and stuff. Like my Harry Potter, like it has like a chess table. She's dying to play with like the chess table. She's dying to play. And there's just some stuff that I'm sorry can't play with.
Do those
like
pieces move?
Some of them do, not all of them. But like I'm a component of like I let my kids. I'm not. There are some stuff that's like you can't touch that, and she knows. Yeah. But there's other stuff that's like it doesn't bother me. It just doesn't. I can't be that person that's like no. She plays with stuff and then she kind of gets over it and moves on. But she loves the accessories to some of the figures that I have that she likes to play with.
She has her own Gwen figure.
She doesn't yet. I do have to get her a Gwen figure. She does have to have a Gwen. See, Hot Toys was supposed to be teasing us a 2.0 of Gwen Stacy from the next, and they haven't put one out yet. So I'd have to end up backtracking and getting, a 1/6 for her. But my son's got a bunch of Spider-Man figures. He's got like 3 or 4 Hot Toys in his room. Spider-Man, Batman.
That he just kind of stares up at, right?
Yeah, he does. He stares up. Now he's getting big enough to where he can almost touch him and knock him over, which is like,
Now you need to get them to get a job eventually so they can buy stuff, right?
That's right. They have to start buying me stuff.
Train them well. You know what's funny? This guy that's on today, Ryan, he's the one that I bet you guys have not asked him about him throwing away his boxes. So if I remember correctly, he's the first person that I can recall that made a video or a short about throwing away the
I made about 8 of them.
Yeah. And these guys are telling everybody what Al said last night on a stream, that you need to throw away your boxes, and this Kaiju Daddy too. So you converted these people, huh?
Well, that's something that I've been noticing. You guys have been collecting longer than I have, so now
Kaiju Daddy, look at his back of his room. It's got tons of damn boxes all over the place.
But like that's something that I do notice people have been posting in groups like, what do you do with all the boxes? And I honestly think that is something that's been transitioning where like the very first Hot Toy I bought was that Iron Man. The first thing I did was I threw out the brown shipper. It's the first thing I did. I threw it out. I didn't know. And then when people started telling me like, you got to keep that, I'm like, why? I don't understand. It's like it adds value. And I'm sorry, but like, when it comes to Hot Toys, I mean, it also depends. Like, if you're buying them overseas, they don't have shippers. They don't. A majority of the figures don't have shippers, except for, like I think some die-cast Iron Man. Like, there's very select Hot Toys. If you buy an exclusive overseas or wherever, you're not getting a shipper because they're just on the shelf. You just take them and you walk out with them. And so that's like a whole U.S. thing, like a whole United States thing that I feel like just kind of came about. Like the shipper adds value, and I'm like, to each their own. I'll just put it that way. To each their own. To me, it protects the figure. And I laugh, honestly, when people show pictures of like dented shippers online. I'm like, it did its job. It protected the figure. Like, that's just me. I give the wrong opinion.
I was sending Mr. Mom some MAFEX figures last year when he was starting to really get into them. And I sent him some real bangers. Like, people don't know the kind of good ones that I got. I got him really good Spider-Man because he's a Spider-Man guy. And I was running into the same problem that I'm having now, which is the box size.
There's yours.
Well, that's one.
You go.
Where's the one that you got the real hookup with?
Which one? You sent me a lot.
The black one.
Yeah, he's somewhere. He's he's tucked away somewhere. Yeah.
So I was telling him, I'm like, listen, man, I can't really get a box that's gonna fit these. Like, the box is gonna be too big. I can get your figures in a smaller box, but I need to like unbox it and put it in like a Ziploc bag. Are you cool with that? Or are you like really into the boxes? And his reply is, I collect toys. I don't collect boxes. Like, toss them out.
Yeah. Jam them all in there. I don't care.
Yeah. I was like, yes, correct answer.
So
now, one question, you brought up the dioramas. You have one big diorama now on the top. Visually, what are you hoping to have for your next 1/12 diorama?
Oh, I have a big one here. I can't show. I have a bigger one. I have two diorama boy ones. I have this one, and then he made like a hallway one.
Oh yeah.
I have two of those, and then I have two more from a guy off Etsy. I wish I had his. I want to tag. I want to shout out all these fabulous people, because that's the one thing about 12 scale, which is fantastic, is the community of just like the creators and the creativity. There's just, it's there in 1/6, but I feel like with 1/6, it's more about customizing the figures, like actually the figure. Whereas 1/12, it's about building these fictional sceneries around the figures, which I love. Because like when I was a kid, I always wanted to have like a Lego city in my basement, like millions of Legos, like a town. I always wanted that. And I
you've seen the collector's room, right?
No, I haven't. No.
Oh man,
dude, go. Walk us over there, man. Come on.
Okay, I'll try my best.
He's got a room. He's got a city.
Low key flex. He's in a low key flex right now. No big deal.
Yeah. Trying to figure out these chords here. So
when I was young, when I was like 7 or 8 years old, my grandfather collected Lionel trains.
Yeah.
And he had a whole like wall of just trains, but he had a whole train thing downstairs in his basement. All that. He had all that. And I always wanted it with Legos. I always wanted to build a Lego city and have it in my basement. And so
okay. I just want to interrupt here. We have some breaking news from Eric. He used DHL via Hobby Genki for a Reveltech Harley and had to pay an additional $32 duty-free tariff.
I meant to send. I saw something on IG. Animated Heroes made a post too. He got, I think it was an SHF figure, and he posted the same thing, $32 fee for Genki and DHL.
Yeah,
I'll be okay. $32 for what though?
So he got a Reveltech. He got like an amazing Yamaguchi. All right, look at these two dudes flexing at the same time.
Is that Geek Scout Diorama or something?
Oh, thank you. That's who this is. But this is a diorama.
I've been looking at his stuff. Oh, yeah,
dude,
that was great.
Dude,
that was good.
Ryan, link me that later.
Yeah, and also there's a whole bunch of accessories that you don't even see on this. Like he built stuff like he made like street signs for me and stuff. This is custom. Like he had an idea of this. And I reached out to him. I said, "Hey, can you make some modifications?" He goes, "Yeah. What do you want?" I said, "I want this." And he made this thing's. I got to figure out a shelf for this thing. Is huge. Like it's
Now, is he in the United States?
No, he is in
like Scotland, right, or something like that.
Poland, I think, or somewhere
Poland.
like that.
Poland. Yeah, right, Poland.
But his work is exceptional. Like I can say, like the quality is like it's just. I'm blown away.
Link me that. I need that. Link me that.
See, Kaiju, I've actually sent you that link.
No, you didn't.
I did. Yeah, I showed you guys this guy's work because I was looking at it too. Yeah. But the one on Etsy he has, it's more of like an alleyway. So it's yeah. So
all right, now it's the other Ryan's turn to flex.
So
shit. Oh my god.
And we slowed down drastically, so I'm making my son buy this stuff.
He hasn't bought a new Lego in 5 years.
And tell them what I'm thinking about buying, but I think I'm gonna try to get my son to buy it. What is it? Do you remember, Kaiju Daddy?
What did you say again?
You remember what ship I might buy in a week or two?
Oh yeah. I need that ship too.
Yeah, so I might buy that.
You're gonna put it right there.
Put it right there. So he's got 6,000 pieces.
Yeah.
That he's been working on. So you go on BrickLink and you just buy these little pieces here. And then he's working on that. So, I mean, when you have a big Lego city, it's like not a rush. You don't want to get a bunch of crap and just throw it on there. You kind of want to work on it. And Kaiju Daddy asked me last week, he said, I don't know if you guys can see it. He asked what would be the Lego set you want real bad. I said Alcatraz. I think Alcatraz set would be awesome. But they tend to stay away from like bars and I guess, bigger Alcatraz sets. But there's a guy on YouTube that had a great one. But, I need to get the Arkham Asylum. I think the Arkham Asylum is a corner build, so I'm looking forward to that.
That's unbelievable.
So show us the Daily Bugle, Mr. Mom. Do you have the Daily Bugle?
I don't have any Legos right now. I really don't have anything, just because I'll get sucked into it like this.
Yeah.
So the Daily Bugle is too small, so you almost need a couple of them and modify them. But you see the building to the right, it's all the sitcom. Most of the sitcom,
and I saw you had the Ghostbusters Firehouse. I see.
Yeah,
right there.
Ghostbusters Firehouse.
Yeah.
I've got that. I've never put it together.
And then you have a trainer, and I have that Ecto 1 somewhere. I do have that Ecto 1. That one.
Yeah.
I don't have the full size one from Afterlife.
Yeah, I need to hopefully get some more. And then there's my Mythic Legion
that's amazing.
Randomly just sitting there,
just hanging out.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Kaiju Mythic Legion.
Yeah, so I was asking Mr. Mom if he's into Mythic Legions. I think the collector, because he's got like 1,000 Mythic Legions, I think you need to send one to him and get him hooked.
Yeah.
Please don't. Please don't.
Dude, they're pretty awesome, dude.
Well, the Sir Enoch, if you do Mythic Legions, you almost need to pick, like, do you want to do Knights? Do you want to do Barbarians? So last night, I was on the stream with Figure Fight Club. I said, I want a Coliseum. I want a massive Coliseum where that dragon could be in it. Can you imagine that? How big that would be? You get a humongous coffee table. You could just, use that as your base. What Mr. Mom was talking about with his dios, my dream is to be able to tell a story from the beginning to the end using your dios. So have them all somewhat connected. But that dio he showed was pretty cool.
I left that one open. That was the thing with that piece, is that when I hit him up, I found him. He has an Etsy store, and that he posts like generic pieces. But then when I bought one, I then asked him about customizing. And one of the things that he did on that for me, when I asked him, I said, can you build like an extra wall if I ever want to add on to it? And he goes, oh, like I was like, if I ever reach out to you and want to do like more, I'd want it to be continuous. Like I would want, like, I always wanted like a diorama of like a New York street scene, like some buildings, a street, like something like that, to kind of just put something together. But I'm slowing down on the dios because I want to get all my figures set up. And I know I have a space over here for some shelving that I want them displayed properly. And so, but yeah, his stuff is just, and he makes it pretty fast, because he told me that like that's what he primarily does. So it's not like other people where they do it on their side, which was like, oh, it'll be a few months. He banged that one out in like, I want to say like 3 or 4 weeks. Like I thought that was relatively fast for what it was. And it came with like lights, accessories, things like that. He made garbage cans. Yeah, he made like a hallway like that.
That's the one I sent in our group chat, and I was looking at it. I was like, damn, this thing is nice.
Yep. That was probably the group chat where it was like, I woke up and there was like 1,000 messages, and I missed it.
All from the collector. But yeah, this guy.
All right, man. Send me that, Al. Send me that.
Yeah.
It's great. But you can message him and just say, like, I know he's got some, I follow his Instagram. Like, it seems like everything's open to customizing. Like, really, like, like he makes some pieces that are up for sale, but like, hey, I like this, but can you do that? And build it from scratch. I mean, it's absolutely amazing work.
Yeah, I have a dio being made, and I learned over the last one, always ask for more.
Yep.
So the current one, I said, hey, can you make me a wall that has like a blast hole through it? And I don't think he thought about it. And he's like, you know what? I can charge you a little bit more. I was like, yeah, that's what I want, because I think the more versatile it is, the better it is for you, because you're spending tons of money on these dios. So it can't be, make a big old blast hole, damage, walls and stuff. It'd be kind of cool to be able to change that.
Mr. Mom, do you collect posters, movie posters?
If I had the space, I always wanted to have a few movie posters up, but I don't have movie posters. I only have.
Have you seen the Bottleneck Gallery? They do the multi-layer acrylic Spider-Man comic covers. Have you seen those?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God, dude.
No.
They take the comic book covers of different Spider-Man comics. So you can get them in like big poster form. You can get them in comic size, and they do multi-layer. So it's like, it's 3D. It comes out.
Yeah.
They're insane. They're so good.
That sounds cool.
They probably do one like every other month or something like that.
Yeah.
They're really good. I'll link you next time they do one.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds good.
Yeah, they're really good. Any other questions from Mr. Mom while he's got his collection out? So he can flex it?
Yeah, right.
No vehicles? 112 vehicles?
112.
I know you got your 1.6, but 112?
No, I always wanted, it's hard to find stuff that I guess fits and makes sense, like the scale. Probably like I don't have any figures that like garner that really need something like that. Maybe like a motorcycle or like a generic car for like when I get my Dio set up, I'd like to have like a car, like just a basic one, maybe like on the street to do for some photography and stuff like that. I guess it's just hard sometimes finding stuff to scale. I know who's the guy. I know like who's that guy? Ramen Toys, I think, does 12th scale vehicles at times, like build up.
Yeah.
But eventually, it's not something that's like dire need at this moment. But I'm sure down the road when I get into it, it would be.
Did you get the Ecto 1 HasLab?
I was gonna get it, and then I didn't get it just because for the price, the quality of it, it was good, but I did pass on it, believe it or not.
Okay. So we do have a question. What is the plan for future growth and including new lines?
Right now, so the 6 scale, I'm kind of not to say I'm not slowing down on 6 scale. I've always kind of bought the way that I have, but I'm switching focus on 6 scale because that's going to be taking up the most room. I have a lot of space for like the 12th scale to put on the walls and stuff like that. I'm going to have a lot of fun with, but it's really kind of prepping myself with 6 scale. Like I said, I'm buying more cases to future proof myself that way. But like I'm switching my focus over. I think we talked about this off air. I'm kind of shifting focus not away from Hot Toys, but I'm definitely into more in art stuff because in art, I think the quality is just it's up there. And they're like for example, like in arts isn't doing Marvel. So when it comes to Marvel, I'll always get the Hot Toys versions of stuff. But when it comes to DC, it has to be very specific from Hot Toys, otherwise I'll get it from in art, basically, that kind of thing. And like I said, I just told you that I just ordered the J&D Joker. So like I'm switching to more higher end, not for everything, but just curating different pieces and things like that. And just having, and I guess wanted to add more unique pieces to my collection is what I'm looking for. Hot Toys just makes so much stuff that it can be very bland at times. There's just so much being made. Like Peacemaker, they just announced a new Peacemaker. I mean, it's not that far off from the first one I have. So it's like, you got to give me something. Hot Toys is great, but you got to give me something more. Like you got to get my, like in art. I get very excited. Like my dogs were barking upstairs. I don't know if anyone heard dogs freaking out like 15 minutes ago. My in art Joker got delivered. Like it's sitting upstairs. Like I'm very excited to open that up. And
go open it up, man. See it. What are you doing?
Oh yeah. I'll run upstairs and grab it in a second. So, but yeah, like the 6 scale, just switching up. Like when it comes to vehicles, there's not many 6 scale vehicles I want. I got my 89 Batmobiles, Jazz Inc. Hot Toys, the Blitzway DeLorean. I have that on order. Some vehicles I'm okay with. There's no rabbit hole with that.
Which DeLorean do you have right there? Is it the 1, 2, or 3?
It's the 2, the notorious broken 2.
I remember when you got yours. Yeah.
Yeah, I was one of those with the cracked wheel. And,
yeah.
I was one of those. I wasn't Denobi drilling it with a screwdriver or doing anything like that, but I was taking a DeWalt. He was sitting there. I remember Denobi. He was sitting there like this, drilling into it and shit. I wasn't that, but yeah, there's that one. But I have the Blitzway one on order. So
okay. Another question from Vicious Soldier: is there ever a figure that you have no idea what it is from, but you got it anyway because it looks cool?
I can't say that I have. No, I really can't. I'm trying to think. Everything that I got, I relatively got. Like the closest thing, there's not a figure I own. I don't know what it is. Like I got it just because. But I can tell you there is a figure that I got that I've never seen the movies of. And I bought it strictly because of the actual craftsmanship of the figure. And that's the in-art Gandalf.
You've never seen Lord of the Rings?
I saw the first one after I got Gandalf.
Yeah. I love that. That Gandalf is probably my favorite 1/6 figure.
Yeah, when that figure, I bought that figure just because, and when I have it, I knew who Gandalf was. I'm not going to be like, oh, who is this? But when I got the figure, I thought the quality and the craftsmanship of the figure was so astonishing. it was something I could not have in my. I could not get it. After I got it, I watched Lord of the Rings. I watched the first one, but that's a figure I got like blind. Like I went in just I got to get it.
All right. Last two, just for fun. What's one figure you're literally planning for your daughter to kickstart her collection? And what are your top two figures this year?
For my daughter, it's gonna have to be the Gwen Stacy. It has to be a Gwen Stacy figure. It has to be Gwen Stacy. I am trying to get. I have to get two of them. One for me, one for her. The what's the first Into the Spider-Verse? That's the first one.
Yeah.
I have to backtrack those. And like I said before, I know Hot Toys teased a newer version of it, or they were just showing the old version. I'm not sure, but I held out because I thought we'd get another version. We might get one from the third movie, so definitely be that for her, and then I would want one for myself. And in terms of figures excited for this year, I'm really looking forward to, believe it or not, the Blitzway Ghostbusters 2.0.
Is that this year? Is that
it's
December?
It's supposed to be Q4. Yeah, it's supposed to be.
Mine got canceled. All three of my 4-packs got canceled.
I'm really looking forward to those because I want to see the advancements to the first ones in hand, because those Blitzways, even though they're about 10 years old, I think they're better than probably 70% of the Hot Toys that are made right now. The sculpts, I mean, they get repainted from time to time, but I think they're just phenomenal.
The Winston paint is awful.
The Winston, but it just gets repainted. But like,
yeah,
the body itself and the accessories, the quality. I mean, it's still up there compared to.
And the stands are the worst stands I've ever seen on one.
I've never held a worse stand before in my life.
They're the worst.
So that's them. And then if I had to choose another figure this year that I'm really looking forward to, it's going to be the InArt Hermione.
Oh, yeah?
Which I'm going to be getting that in probably the next 2 or 3 weeks, because that completes the trilogy of the 3, and I really want to see all 3 together complete.
Now, let me ask you a question about that, because I remember a conversation we had, and you didn't want to collect kid figures.
That was a very controversial thing, yes.
Yeah, but now you're collecting the 3 of the kids. So what happened? What changed?
So that was a very controversial thing for me, and I know there's other streamers who talked about it, gave me a lot of shit for it, called, all this stuff. I made a reaction video to the Ahsoka figure, the young Ahsoka.
Yeah.
And the thing about me, and I don't do YouTube as much anymore. I really do have, by the way, this is a very touchy subject, so I apologize if I have to kind of set it up.
Don't get into it too deep, but just,
No. But I made a reaction video to it, and my thoughts were at the time of how I felt about it, and I got a lot of negative feedback about it, and I just said, I'm sorry, it's just how I feel at the time. Yeah. But the one thing about me is that, and I think this is something with like YouTube and content creators, is that we do evolve as people. And you evolve where people maybe, like, I didn't like InArt from the beginning. Now I love InArt. I didn't like Magic Case for some things that they did, but then I feel like my opinion evolved as I got more information, and I'm willing to basically chalk it up and say, listen, my opinion changed. And I think that we kind of forget that. We're on YouTube making there's reaction videos. For an example, the modern suit Batman from Hot Toys, from the Flash. I made a reaction video how I was so excited about that figure. I can't wait to get this figure. And then in my review, I shit on the figure. I thought it was awful. Like, because when I got it in hand, I'm like, this isn't what, like, it's just not a good fit. Like, I didn't like it. So like I flipped completely, like, and so that's something that happened where I just felt that time, and my opinions have changed now. Like, I want to be on the forefront about like the whole kid thing. Like, I am very much different about that. Like how my opinions were last year and a half, like I have evolved in that, and it's a completely different, opinion that I have. And so with the Harry Potter, it took me a while to pre-order the Harry Potter, by the way. I waited till the very last day that 1/6 kit was cutting it off. It wasn't like, oh, it's day one, I'm jumping in. I was really tossed and turned on that Harry Potter for a while because I had feelings about, like, well, I don't know if I waited till the very last day that he was like, listen, cutting off POs, get in or get out. And I was like, screw it. I just instinctively just did it. And then by the time I got it, we're human. We evolve. We have opinions then. We have opinions now. We change. So, but the thing with the Harry Potter, though, is once I got the first one, you kind of
got to get them all.
Depending on your fandom, you got to commit to everything, and so that's kind of where that's part of also the reason why I held back is because I could see myself getting one and not pass, and like I couldn't see myself passing on the other two, and it's a financial.
So right now, Gandalf is Dumbledore. Is that why you have them all together?
Well, kinda. He's my Dumbledore substitute for the time being.
Konbanwa, 78 points. What's going on, man?
78.
I have his dial from him.
I got a dial from him too, the rooftop. I actually have it upstairs, and I got to put part of it together. I actually do have his dial.
Nice.
Yeah, the 3-piece deluxe rooftop. So I actually was assembling that literally the other night. I'm gonna have that up on display on my wall soon.
Cool. Any comments or questions, Al or Ryan, before we wrap this up?
If he had to pick one line to still collect and get rid of the rest, what would it be?
Anything that is 80s based.
Yeah.
You get rid of your Spider-Mans and you keep your 80s?
Believe it or not, yeah, I would. Yeah.
Now, I like that answer because I probably do the same.
I'm an 80s kid, so we're talking Batman, we're talking Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, Terminator, Aliens, Predator. I'm sorry, that's pretty
hard. Yeah, that's a hard thing to give up.
That's heavy. That's heavy to say. As Marty would say,
this is heavy.
Yeah, this is heavy. I would have to say. Yeah,
that's a good answer. So
now, do we have confirmation 78 points is going to be on next week?
On what?
On what?
On the show.
On the show?
Yeah.
I don't know. 78 points. We're gonna be on a show.
Yeah.
I mean, you could catch them on Fridays.
Yeah. Oh no.
I was supposed to have 78 on one of the streams. I think in August because he was traveling, but then I ended up getting sick and I couldn't really commit to anybody being on.
Now, Mr. Mom, you have all these dios. What's the dream dio you want that everybody can try to steal your idea and make it? Because I always get worried about that.
I don't have a dream dio, to be honest. I garner inspiration from others. I will say the one thing that kind of sucks is that I wish that there was more 1/6 dios. Really, I really wish there was. There's just, and I know it's kind of hard, but like I think I was talking to who's the guy from Etsy? I forget his name.
Figuarts there, Ramos.
I believe so. I had spoken to him about if he could upscale to 1/6, and he did say that he would, because what I really wanted was I wanted a 6-scale diorama for the in-art Joker, the bathroom Joker. I wanted he did one in 12 scale, where he did a bathroom scene, and I asked him, like, could you scale it up to 1/12? And I think at the time, like, he said,
bathroom Joker? Which one is that?
Oops, my camera. It's that him dancing
when he's pulling his mouth.
Yeah, bloody.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I asked him if he could scale it up, and I think he said he could. He just would have to take more time to get it measured and stuff. But yeah, that's one that I would love to have.
Did you pre-order this, Mr. Mom?
That one I actually passed on it. I did pass on it because with Marvel and certain things, because I'm leaning more towards in art. The Artisan series, I have very defined opinions about the Artisan series. I think it's overpriced, and I think that there's not a lot there for it realistically. And I think the Artisans are too hit or miss right now for the money that they're charging on them.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I have the Artisan Joker and the Jack Sparrow, but you know.
Yeah. Good morning, Ubby. So, any last comments, Al?
So, out of all your 6-scale figures, which one were you most hyped about the most, but when you got it, you just hated it?
There's a few. The modern suit Batman, and I had to get some modifications done to it to get it now up to an acceptable point. But that was one, when I opened it up, I was pretty disappointed with. Also, the Andrew Spiderman, I was disappointed with that one. Andrew, I love that suit. Like, that's one of my favorite suits. But I was very disappointed that was basically like a reissue, basically. And then finally, one that I absolutely hated was the Hot Toys Batman Begins figure. that came out like 2 years ago. They tried that one like 4 times, and that was just a fail. And I hope InArt does it and they do it better eventually. But that one was another one that I literally opened it out of the box, and I was like, I barely took it out of the box. I was just really disappointed. Like I looked at it like, what is it? Like I couldn't believe how bad that figure was.
Yeah. Now on the flip end, which figure did you buy not really expecting much from, but ended up being one of your favorites?
Believe it or not, I would say Black Adam.
That's a good one, yeah.
And the Hot Toys 2.0 Bane, I would say, are figure of the year. I put them in my figure of the year contenders top 10 for I think last year or year before. But those are 2 figures that I think are really like wow, impressive in hand.
They are, yeah. I actually just opened up both 2 weeks ago, and dude, that rock head sculpt is amazing.
And one more, I'll throw in 3, the Mondo Venom.
Nice. Mondo makes some great accessories. I love all their accessories.
I mean, the cell shading and QC aside, this is another one that I wasn't expecting to be as impressive as it was, but this is an impressive, absolutely impressive piece.
How's the weight on it?
It's heavy as hell.
Yeah.
Heavy as hell. It's heavy. So, and I know they made Carnage too. So Carnage I'm looking forward to as well.
You shocked 78 points. For real? That Mondo? All right. Well, I want to thank Mr. Mom for being on. Real great seeing your collection, having him on, having him talk about all the different things that he's been collecting and his impressions on things. Thank you so much for being on. Really appreciate it.
I really appreciate it. And I want to take a moment because I know your viewers probably know, but also like you and I really, I know the way you meet people here, so like you said, how we converse, but you and I we never streamed before. And I do apologize because you've been trying to get me on so many times, and with kids and just stuff, it's hard, and with our time zone. So I do apologize for not getting on previously. So I want to make sure I owe you one to try to get on here today. Definitely. So I really do appreciate you taking the time. And then not only that, I just want to make a point. I don't want to sound like I'm gushing, but it is truly astonishing. How much you do actually care about the community that you're in terms of, and I know you're probably more 1/12 than 1/6 now. I mean, you do both, but just in terms of like providing people with updates and what you do about getting figures and stuff, it is truly astonishing. It really is. And I've done stuff for people before, picked up something here and there, but the level of commitment that you go for to your viewers and your friends and stuff, Kaju, it's very, it's pretty amazing. And there isn't people out there that are willing to have that kind of commitment for others. And I do appreciate that. I really do. And I know you were selling me figures where like you and I really didn't talk that much, and you were already selling me figures and stuff. And so I really thank you for that. I really do. It really does mean a lot.
No problem.
And so
I appreciate it. I appreciate
it. And all the updates and everything that you're doing with the shipping and keeping people in the loop. There's a passion there. And it's you could tell it's genuine, and it's amazing. So thank you.
Thank you very much. So again, I'm fighting COVID. Oh, awful. I want to remind everybody down below, we can see that the Collector's got a stream happening at 11. Ryan, do you want to speak to that before we?
Yeah, we just need more participation. So Wakandan Figure Slayer is going to show up, and I think Darth Benevolent, or however you say his name, Jason's. I think he's in trouble. Now I'm hoping Dark remembers. But I went up against Jason. He killed me pretty bad, but it's not easy when it's timed. Like someone like me, it takes me forever to post figures, but I'm not bad. But when you're trying to do a YouTube stream, it's a little tough.
You're pretty bad. You're worse than me.
Well, I don't think I'm that bad. I have to get inspiration. Like I have to look at a visual to post.
Show me the figures. Show me the figures and the detolf behind you.
No, it's like dustier than heck. I keep thinking that nobody's watching this. He's gonna make fun of this because the amount of dust is insane, man. But I got some good poses, like this little Daredevil up here by the blurg. I don't know if you guys can see it, but up there, look at that Daredevil pose. Look
at that guy. Look at him.
And then Mr. Mom, about a year or 2 years ago, he was showing me how to do this detolf, and look at mine. This is how much progress I made, Ryan.
There you go.
Yeah.
Hey, it's better
I didn't do anything. And I got a neighbor that moved in, a young guy, and he's like, oh, I'm into fabrication. Like he owns his own business. I'm like, man, do I take that guy down in my basement or do I have to get worried about it? You know?
And you never let him up.
Kind of like that guy that lives in my state. Everybody's making fun of me, trying to figure out where the guy lives. But that dude's
Jedi Ben.
barn. Oh my gosh. And
Yeah,
what's funny is, just to let you guys know, never have your kids in your social media with shirts that say their schools and stuff, because you can figure out where the person kind of lives. So I have it narrowed down.
And now you just gave up your stalking secrets.
People aren't stalkers.
Yeah, you know why I found that out was some guy in the CIA. He was telling all the kids, because I'm an educator, right? He was telling all these kids these horror stories. I'm like, this guy's if you really are a bad person, all you have to do is look at social media and figure out where people live and stuff. But yeah, I got his location down, pretty much narrowed down. Now I just need to make a phone call and say, hey, who can work on my car, and look at the cars in the background. You know, these guys that work in those types of trades will tell you everything and give you the numbers. So, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just trying to get it.
You've already done it. Of course, you're not going to do it. You've already done it.
Yeah.
Back to the Future.
Look at satellite images, figure out who has barns. But you know, having a barn, I think Mr. Mom's going to get a barn eventually. I'm predicting the future. He's going to get one of these barns, and if you ever get a barn, always shop around.
Now, here's the question. Wait a second. Here's the question. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
That nobody asked Ryan. Ryan, how much space do you have dedicated to your collection?
I have actually the room that I'm in. I actually had built already. So I'm in my basement. So I was originally upstairs. I had a spare room before my son was born. That was my collection room. I had all my stuff there. Then when my son was born, I deconstructed everything, moved everything downstairs. But in the meantime, we were having my basement renovated. So the way that it is now, I actually have the space custom made for me. So I had it all predetermined. So my basement originally was just open layout kind of thing. And my wife, who, you know, God bless her, she puts up with my bullshit. She was like, hey, you know, do you want it, like, how much space do you want for like your toys and stuff? And I'm like, oh, so we figured out spacing to put up walls and stuff. Yeah, all of it. But so I share the space downstairs with my daughter. She has like her outside, like when you walk outside here, it's like a playroom and stuff. But yeah, no, I actually have a fair amount of space for, you know, so I had this all pre-planned actually, which is nice.
Living the dream, man. Living the dream.
And if I remember correctly, you got a pretty good sized backyard with a stream, right? Like a
yeah. That I do my photos.
So you could put a cargo container in the ground, or a storage unit, a big one that you can put cars in, but don't put cars in. But if you guys ever do that, you need to do the insulation, you need to do the drywall. Just have them put the foundation up and the whatever it's called, the siding, and then just do the rest. But I'm not kidding you, Ryan. If you saw this guy's barn, he looked like he was a mechanic, guys, right?
Yeah, he was. He is. Yeah.
But that's nice, man. That's real nice to have.
Yeah, he said he'd be on one of the streams, so we'll get him on one of these things, and we'll take a look at his collection again.
And then I'm gonna have to do a road trip.
Yeah, but anyway, enough from you. We're done with you. We're gonna sign off. Thanks again, Mr. Mom. Thanks, Al, for coming on. The Collector. Absolutely. Make sure everybody tunes into The Collector. He's gonna be starting the stream, I think, in 20 minutes. Is that right?
Yeah, I'll be on time, so I won't be late this time.
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, guys, take care. Be good. Be safe, and hope to see you all next time.
See you guys. Thanks, Ryan.